Greetings, Craddock here. Have a treat of a build for you today. Super fun, relaxing T16 build. I'm going to call it Chaos Wave. Just embodies the essence of what this actually is emanating across the battlefield, right? So it's going to be a Firebirds build. We're going to be proccing our combustion stacks through a couple of different means. It is also a channeling build and a shielding build. So we're going to be keeping up that Squirt's necklace and all that jazz, right? So we're going to use Disintegrate, Chaos Nexus, going to be really good for igniting enemies, and then our combustion skills will be Familiar and Heat Wave on Wave of Force. So one of these, the Familiar Sparkflint, is actually going to be our single target DPS, whereas the Heat Wave will be our AoE DPS. Now something interesting here, interaction-wise, is that you still gain the Death Wish bonus when you're channeling for the Heat Wave damage, specifically because Death Wish, while on the front end, it takes up to a second for this to go into effect. On the back end, after you stop channeling, it will also continue being in effect for up to a second after you've been channeling the Death Wish. So this is pretty cool. This lets you deal increased damage benefiting from the Death Wish for that Wave of Force damage. So we're actually going attack speed with this build, Echoing Fury coming into the mix, going to make our many different things work a little bit smoother in the build. So first off, on the ignition side of things, your Chaos Nexus discharges will go off quicker with increased attack speed. Your Familiar Sparkflint will attack faster when you're at that higher attack speed level. Your Heat Wave, you will be able to manually cast it at a quicker pace, right? So all of these things coming together to make a very smooth build. We have attack speed on the weapon and only one gear piece, as you can see here. So I've put it on the gloves, which I think is the most optimal spot, but you can put it wherever you want it between the rings and the gloves, right? And this will get us to quite a nice breakpoint, actually, to for Etch Sigil Twister procs, because we are using the Ranslor's Folly. Oh my goodness, gonna pull in enemies, help us, because we're not really running with this build. We're mainly using the teleport ability with the Firebird set, reducing the cooldown to teleport all the way, and then we get those instant wormholes. On the PTR, the wormhole spell doesn't really work because there's so much lag, there's so much latency. It's not working very well, but on live, clears should be even faster than I've displayed in my videos, so that's pretty cool. So yes, the Ranslor's Folly going to suck all of our trash in, and you will kill them with the Wave of Force. Elites, mainly yellows, you're going to try and focus down with the Sparkflint as well. So that's something pretty cool. Sparkflint also helps out greatly at the very beginning of the Rift when you, or if your Echoing Fury stacks drop, they help proc the Echoing Fury. So that's pretty cool as well. Yeah, let's just do a general overview of affixes here. You don't need a lot of resource cost reduction, but I advise keeping the RCR on the shoulder piece. This build's going to be very easy to put together at the beginning of a season especially. Perfect gearing will include the Oghild set and the Ring of Royal Grandeur with the Stone of Jordan coming in to give us a combined 60% elite damage and only 30% multiplier notable here. I think at higher Paragons, this will be the better setup, especially. And even if you can manage getting the Oghild's recipe and crafting this set earlier on, it's still going to be worth going after wearing the squirts instead of cubing it and going Endless Walk, which is the second option. You can opt instead, if you can't find that recipe, didn't do enough bounties to get the recipe, whatever, at the beginning of season, just get the Endless Walk set instead and then cube the squirts. And that's how you put this together. This variation here with the Endless Walk does more damage to trash. However, this variation here will do slightly more damage to elites. And since it's mostly an elite killing build, you do kill incidental trash quite often. I think the Oghild setup with the Ring of Royal Grandeur and the cube is the better configuration. So one other component of the attack speed is going to be the increased shielding that you have at these higher attack speed levels from the magic weapon deflection, also including galvanizing ward, both of these to be able to maintain your squirt's necklace bonus. Earlier in season, you should probably go for the amethyst in the helmet, as I've put here in the alternate gearing setup. This will give you a little bit more life percentage, a little bit more health pool to deal with. Life percentage and vitality going to be very important in your gearing for this setup. Granted, at T16 it's a little bit easier to survive, so you know, when you feel a little bit more comfortable, swap this out for a green gem and emerald in the helmet for those that extra percentage of gold find off monsters. Going to be very good as well. Of course, we're getting gold from the Boon of the Hoarder as well. We do get movement speed from both the Echoing Fury and the Boon of the Hoarder, which is going to be nice if you have to like click on doors or click on pylons, but for the most part, we're actually moving around with the teleport. This is why I haven't gone Illusionist in this build, opting instead for the increased damage, the increased multiplier rather from elemental exposure, and the double second life from Unstable Anomaly. I think this is the best pick for an alternate passive. However, there are a few other choices if you feel comfortable with just the Firebird's 2-piece revive alone. You could go Blur for extra toughness. You could opt for one that surprised me was actually Temporal Flux, was really good for helping proc Trapped. So if you want kind of a funky offbeat pick, this was actually pretty good for dealing more damage at range. Incidental damage at range, rather. And then the other good one here is actually Dominance. So giving you even more shielding as you kill enemies is going to be nice as well. Anyways, it's a really smooth build, really easy composition to configure at the beginning of season, which is this build's strongest point. And I'm super excited to get playing with this. It's not the quickest clearing build for T16 compared to some other wizard builds, and especially compared to other class T16 builds, but this build is very comfortable, very easygoing. You just basically just channel if you want, and then every now and again cast the Wave of Force manually, so super easy to play, super fun. It's going to be a great addition to our toolkit.